Greetings and well met, world builders. My name is James, but you can all call me ArchDM. I would like to welcome you all to Arch Bay, Foundation Town Building on YouTube with a difference. I am playing casual rules with Own All Territories turned on. So I started playing Foundation as soon as early access became available, and I racked up 610 hours on the beta. During that whole time I felt like I was building Dungeons and Dragons themed towns. I figured now that the game is officially released, it's time to truly combine my two favourite games. I started playing Dungeons and Dragons in the late 70s. I was a player for 10 years, then a Dungeon Master for 15. I did a whole lot of world building in that time. Then I had a decades-long break and started playing World of Warcraft and the Total Annihilation RTS series, but I have long missed my favourite hobby, Dungeons and Dragons. I have recently returned to Dungeons and Dragons and my passion has lost none of its lustre. I have fallen in love with 5th edition. I hope you all enjoy watching my Dungeons and Dragons themed town grow as much as I've enjoyed building it.
Salt wind in my hair, first steps on the shore, new hope that we share, like none felt before. We raise our voices high under stars we've never known, while pipes and voices soar. In this place we'll make our home, though the old land's far behind, we'll build something more. Flames dance warm and bright as we gather near. Songs fill up the night, chase away our fear. We raise our voices high under stars we've never known, while pipes and voices soar. In this place we'll make our home, though the old land's far behind, we'll build something more. Stone by stone, day by day, making this our home. Work and pray.
Greetings and well met. My name is Greg. Back in the old world, I owned a large fruit and veg market. I was doing quite well for myself, but then someone torched my home. Between you and me, I am sure it was the local thieves guild. They accused me of encroaching on their territory. Bah humbug. Anyway, my life was in danger, so I sold up everything I had and financed this expedition to the new world, where my new friends and I can start fresh, far from the intrigues of the old world. I get great pleasure in helping the community, and when I can skim a bit off the top, all the sweeter. I have hand-picked all the townsfolk, and I know all their deepest, darkest secrets. You see, I have my very own little spy, who is so good at sneaking about, listening to other people's conversations and researching their history. They can't hide nothing from me. I'm going to run a very tight little community here. So, welcome to Arch Bay. Have a good time, and above all, remain vigilant on fire safety. So I found 3 talented young builders who have come along to help build Arch Bay. First we have Serena. She is 18 years old and recently completed her builder's apprenticeship. I recruited her on the same day that she became accredited. She was highly recommended by the guild and is well known for being a perfectionist. She loves discovering new mysteries and solving them. Unfortunately, on her way to the docks to board the ship to the New World, she was robbed by bandits in the street. She particularly pines for a stolen locket that had a picture of her mother and father in it. I've noticed she can be quite selfish at times and doesn't like to share. Allison is 20 years old. She was an apprentice builder and showed great promise, but her hometown ended up being overrun by zombies, and she had to flee for her life. She ended up in my old home city, but it was too busy and overwhelming for her. Before she could flee again, I found her and convinced her to join my expedition to the New World as one of my construction crew. She jumped at the chance. Allison gets very focused in regards to her craft and is another perfectionist. When she talks, she gestures profusely, which can get a little dangerous if she has tools in her hands. She sleeps fully dressed as nightmares of zombies are ever present, and I suspect she feels the need to be able to run at a moment's notice. Angela is 22 years old. She has never had any recognized training from the Builders Guild, but her skills are undeniable, so I took a chance and recruited her for the journey to the New World. She commonly uses sarcasm and insults as a defense mechanism when people look at her strangely, and unfortunately that does happen all too often. After all, she did bring with her an ivory box with the bones of a range of dead animals arrayed neatly within. The skeletons are all perfectly intact due to some cunning packaging. She claims to constantly see the spirits of the dead animals and that they speak to her, teaching her the craft of construction and warning her of dangers. All attempts from other people, both magical and divine, have failed to allow others to see her spirit friends. She does not necessarily follow the guild codes for building, but her creativity is nonetheless exciting and welcome. Bart is a 25-year-old stout halfling. He is always smiling and joking around, but his jokes are often inappropriate and poorly timed. He has no empathy in regards to other people's feelings. He loves a good secret, but is ever eager to share such secrets with anyone and everyone the first chance he gets. His wilderness craft and foraging skills are top-notch, but he does tend to eat more than he collects. He always eats like it's his last meal. How he doesn't get fat, nobody knows, but his favorite punchline is, "Does Bart shit in the woods?" When he is not eating, he is usually playing with an obviously magical coin that glitters with a trail of fairy sparks every time he flips it. He claims it to be a gift from a leprechaun, but that story is probably just one of his wild stories and probably holds little truth. Emilia is an 18-year-old stout halfling. She is always smiling, especially when she is foraging, often humming to herself while she works. She loves to be part of a community. She tends to judge people by their words and not by their actions, and so is very easy to fool. She reads every book she can get her hands on, but rarely understands them fully, often making up her own meanings to complex themes. She often talks about her long-lost brother and would dearly love to reunite with him, even though he never really did exist, as told by Bart. Grumble is a 324-year-old hill dwarf miner. He prefers to be underground, but as he says, "A dwarf's gotta go where the work is, eh?" He is very talkative and struggles to get to the point. He doesn't feel pain ever. Or at least that's what he will tell you. He will easily share anything with friends or those in need. What most people don't realize about Grumble is that he has been addicted to angel blood for many years. It nearly killed him. He doesn't like change at all, but he has made an effort and moved halfway around the world to escape his habit and his old suppliers. He is still, technically, in withdrawal. Graffiti is a 112-year-old hill dwarf maiden. She doesn't really like mining, but she is very good at it when she applies herself. She dreams of becoming a goblin hunter one day, like her mother. She can be quite selfish at times, and she has regular streaks of laziness. If she can avoid any work, she will. She is the sort of dwarf that starts tavern brawls, whether she can finish them or not. She is quick to anger and let the fists fly. She often tries to whistle while she works, but she can't really pull it off. She sounds more like a leaky blowfish. She has a bad habit of doing the opposite of what she's told, and this got her in trouble too many times with her clan, so she followed Grumble to Arch Bay in an effort to start fresh. Alixia is a 176-year-old female wood elf. Her mother was a powerful druid, and she is expected to answer that calling at some stage. She understands the natural cycle of the forests and was recruited to make sure the new town does not clear too much land to ensure sustainable growth of timber resources and maintain essential natural biodiversity. She tends to spend most of her time singing to the trees of the deep forest. She prefers their company over speaking to people. Alixia is naturally cross-eyed, but she has enough control over her body that most people don't even realize. It does become more pronounced when she is tired or stressed, though. She also has what she considers a deep, dark secret, but my little spy sniffed this one out pretty quick. Alixia is afflicted with lycanthropy, the were-tiger strain. She is ashamed of this and keeps her condition from the other villagers. She hopes one day to find a cure, as long as she can keep her transformations under control and does not become a threat to the community. Her presence is welcome and needed. Enya is a 38-year-old orc woodcutter, the eldest of the trio called the Sisters of the Axe. She has a scar on one cheek and old burn marks on one shoulder. She is always very calm, even in the height of combat. In every situation, she is always looking for the loophole, the trick, or the cheat. She is a compulsive gambler, but she always pays her debts. She is obsessed with watching the waves of the ocean and meditation. The younger sisters idolize her and will always do anything she asks. In turn, she is protective of them and will fight with anyone who offends or hurts her little sisters. Aubrey is a 35-year-old orc woodcutter, the middle child of the trio called the Sisters of the Axe. She is followed around day and night by a crow. She calls the crow Little Man. Aubrey uses foul language in everyday speech and considers creative insults as an art form. She considers herself beautiful and believes everyone else thinks so too. It is difficult to hold a conversation with her as she often changes the subject multiple times in quick succession. When she wants to make a point, she tends to wiggle her head from side to side and point or poke at the target of her monologue. Aubrey loves nothing more than a good tree-throwing contest. Now it's time to introduce you to my favorite, not so little, spy. Frigga is a 33-year-old orc woodcutter, the youngest of the trio called the Sisters of the Axe. She is very, very competitive and quite confident in everything she does, other than talking. She has a pronounced lisp, so she doesn't speak much, but she does listen a lot and hears everything. She knows all the gossip around town. Despite her bulk, she can move as silent as a hunting cat, and often uses this skill to eavesdrop on private conversations. I suspect those fancy boots she wears are enchanted to enhance her stealth. Whenever she gets caught eavesdropping, her default response is to just stand and stare at her accusers until they get uncomfortable and walk away. She really can be quite intimidating. Frigga wears her heart on her sleeve and falls in and out of love easily, but her love for her sisters is always unwavering. So, that's your introduction to the founders of Arch Bay. I will send you regular reports on our progress. We are expecting families to start arriving soon, and in my next report, I will detail all the new arrivals as they come in. Until then, farewell, and may your purse be ever full of gold.
We raise our voices high under stars we've never known. so